So, hello everybody. There's a new D&D campaign coming to the channel. This one, we will be playing every other week, so it won't be as regular as Trail of Champions, but I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be really super sweet. So this is based on the Iron Gods play. What do they call that? I can't remember, but it was like a Pathfinder game or mod, basically. This has been adapted to 5e, and it looks like it's going to be really cool. So it's set in the harsh lands of Nemeria, where it's a world of savagery and super science that everything exists side by side. The Starfall, or Iron Gods campaign, incorporates a number of science fiction themes alongside its more traditional fantasy offerings. So while there's going to be dragons, orcs, magic swords, spells, the PCs in the campaign also face robots, cyborgs, and aliens, armed with techno gear and weapons. So, and the history of the world is basically just summed up that all of these techno stuff was brought to Nymeria 1,000 years ago during a singular event known as the Reign of Stars. So there are going to be some definitely very interesting characters in this campaign. I'm super excited because you have some different background options. I think you get some different spell options and whatnot. I know I, for one, will be playing a unique race and class. I just decided to kind of go all out and try something completely different. So all of it's been adapted again to 5e. That's been a lot of fun seeing how some of this has been tweaked. And so it's still going to be really simple and fun to play without having to learn all new rules and everything. So, yes, just wanted to give a little update before the game starts. Hopefully the music is not too loud in the background. And just to put this out there, the music is Adrian von Ziegler. Ziegler? Yeah. Pulse. Yeah, so yeah, it's one of my favorite songs done by Adrian von Ziegler. So be sure to check that out because he's awesome and I just like promoting him every chance I can. Anyway, so I'll put this on pause or let the music finish playing out until the game is ready to start.
is kind of, we'll introduce ourselves and our characters kind of simultaneously. Let me set up a bit of the town and the environment just so you kind of know where what is kind of happening. As you guys know, you guys are actually all natives to Torch, and Torch is a not so big city, only about 4,500 people. So I would say that most of you don't necessarily know each other by name, town like that, but you would probably have seen each other kind of in passing type of thing. And some of you would be more likely to know others. And we'll go into a bit of the characters. And when people introduce themselves, I want them to say, kind of describe their character and describe what a regular person in Torch might know of you. So Galarian, just so you guys know, is based on the idea that sometime approximately 9,000 years prior, a gigantic spaceship crashed into the planet. And that time period was known as the Reign of. Since that time, little bits and pieces kind of make their way into life, but most people are only exposed to it just, I would say, almost not at all, because most people can't get any of the technology to work. But the largest piece that we discovered is a place called Starmount, and that's a bit distant from Torch. But they're a society known as the Technic League, mostly wizards, started going into Starmount, pulling out technology, and then thereby kind of ruling the world, so to speak. Torch is semi-independent. They pay taxes to the Technic League, pretty hefty taxes. Most people kind of resent it, but they also get their own governing body and live in, I'm not going to call it peace, but they don't get bothered too much except when the Technic League weaves in for those taxes and Torch itself has a gigantic heat source that occasionally will blast that purple beam up into the sky. They don't know how that happens. There's some warnings before it happens. Otherwise, if you're on the mountain at that time, it could turn into crisp. Does that pretty much explain it?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds good.
So each of you, citizens of Torch, and like I said, Torch isn't that big, but it does have a slightly fluctuating group of people because smiths from all over will come and work on things, well, what's mostly known as sky metal, a special type of metal that really only some of the forges in Torch can handle, get up to. So there are strangers that come in waves. They do stay in town. They'll stay for a while. So it is mostly human, about 75% human. The next grouping after that are dwarves, and then half orcs actually. And then after that, things kind of taper off. Some gnomes, half elves, 1% of less so. Okay. All right. So I think what we should do at this time is have everyone kind of introduce themselves. Uh, you, most of you, or half of you know half of you, is kind of where it is. But introduce yourself, where you're from, and then your character, and how your character might be known in Tor. It's to the other citizens. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on you, Megan, since you're alphabetically first.
Knew I should have picked a Q as my first name. So I'm Eris Quinn. I'm a rock gnome. I probably known to Ro and Zag since it's a little known secret that I'm a bounty hunter, so I'll go into their shop and sell them any interesting scraps that I pick up from one of my bounties.
You might also, I don't know how often you frequent taverns at all, but it sounds like you do occasionally.
Yeah.
And the most popular tavern is actually Councilman or Councilor's Connor Bain's Foundry Tavern. So probably have some exposure to Zen, who is his apprentice as well. Though I don't think he drinks. I could be wrong.
No.
Could if you wanted to.
Naturally. He is the hero after all.
But Eris does live in town, but is away often.
Yes.
Anything that people might know as rumors about Eris, or no?
They might know that she's generally strapped for cash, so if you offer her a job that she thinks looks good, she tends to be willing to take it.
How about
You cut out there a little bit, Cindy. What'd you say?
sorry? I was going to ask Kat if she wanted to go next.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to play Laryn. She works at the Red Door and Sundry. She's an android, which she tries to keep quiet, so I don't know how many people would actually know that. The most striking thing about her is that she's 6 foot tall. So as far as rumors, there's probably a few rumors that she might not be human, which is what she appears to be. And people probably know her as a good listener. and very curious.
Okay, and for you as a player?
Oh, yes, my bad. I'm Kat. And live in Oklahoma. Yeah. And I like to play around with accents on my characters, which is going to be interesting with Ro. I haven't decided on anything yet.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I up?
Yep.
Okay. I'm John. I know we've all played together before at some point or another. I will be playing Sin Starsong, who, if you've ever been to the tavern at any point ever, you are aware is the apprentice of Connor Bane and the greatest hero of the age, soon to be the greatest practitioner of arcane arts this world has ever seen.
Oh my god.
How do people usually
Say again, I'm sorry?
see Sen if they were to?
Oh, right. He has vibrant red hair, like fiery red hair, about shoulder length, in a mess, or it seems to be a mess, but you know. He has spring green eyes. He wears kind of like tight-fitting clothing, but a large, loose tunic. He kind of walks around with a stride. He got like chin up. He's seems very confident and proud of himself, and he is very often seen bragging as he's helping out in the tavern.
Okay.
Oh, and he's actually a bit on the short side. He's about 5'6".
And not a
Not a drinker, is that what you said?
yeah.
Correct, he does not drink.
All right.
My turn.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Zach from Washington State. Yeah. I brew beer for a living. And my character is Zag. He is a rock gnome as well. And he's like 3.5 feet tall. He's a sneaky bugger. What else? He probably would know everybody because he owns the store, the Red Door and Sundries. And he would just know them. You know, he would probably know Sen from being in the tavern. He knows Eris. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was Eris, right?
Yeah.
He knows her probably from selling stuff, and he knows Ro because she works there. And he loves his new tech or gadgets. Loves that stuff. Anything interesting like that, he's into it. And that's it.
Okay. So Zag does go to the tavern occasionally or often?
Yeah, maybe to see if anybody interesting or anybody with like high tech stuff has come in, or if anybody's heard anything about that.
Okay. And what about Ro? Is Ro a tavern attender?
I think Ro would be seen at the tavern. Mostly people watching more than anything, it would seem. Perhaps doing like some sketches and whatnot.
Okay. So, just to kind of summarize, you guys are all heading to the council chambers in the morning, seeking more information after seeing some of the flyers. They've been up for the past several days, but just recently updated to the sum has been about the same, 4,000 gold, but they've also thrown in a scroll of resurrection if he's brought back alive. If he's brought back dead, they're hoping to use the scroll of.
You cut out there again, Cindy.
Sorry. I will have each of you roll a d20 for me, please. go ahead. Meantime, do you know that some people in Torch have been coming down with headache? They'll wake up in the morning and just kind of have a splitting headache. This seems to have been going on for over a week. So, since before the torch went out, but not too much than that.
Have any of us experienced that?
So, no. But you each know someone who has complained of
Okay.
at some point. Times
Curious.
we'll go to a healer, and usually it can be kind of resolved, but they no one's been able to find the source of that. Figure out people.
You're cutting in and out a lot, Cindy.
Perhaps they all have headaches because they are tall.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. That's all. Dang it. It doesn't work at all. Okay. All right. So as you guys head towards the council chambers, you do notice that the streets are dirtier. Garbage is piling up in the streets. In general, most of the time, the citizens of Torch just throw their garbage into the big furnace because it burns everything. So since the torch has gone out, a lot of garbage has just collected.
How long has the torch been out for now?
About 8.
8 days, okay. And when did Master Bane disappear?
So he's been missing this is the 4th day.
So this is the dawn of the 4th day.
This is the dawn.
Okay.
Okay. As you guys enter the council chamber, maybe some of you are still there. The doors to the main council haven't opened yet, but the waiting area has opened. There's various people here. There's a couple of people who look a little unsavory. Couple of at least 4 or 5 really brash young people who have like created their own party. Out comes one of the assistants to the council. Oh, everyone is here bright and early today. Dolga will be calling people in and telling them about trip, but we really only can take parties at 4 or 5. Around.
Sorry,
Offhand.
Cindy, you're going in and out again.
Okay, I will be back. Let me
Okay. Technical problems.
I know she recently just got a new rig set up, so.
Oh. Yep. That does it.
Yeah, my push to talk seems to work pretty good, so I'm gonna stick with that for now.
I've been using push to talk for like 14 years now, so it's just muscle instinct at this point.
Oh, I've never tried it before, except for recently, like the last few months when I've been having problems talking. It cuts out, or I don't get anything going.
How's your kid doing?
He's good. He turned 5 months today, so
Aww.
That's fantastic.
yeah. My wife was out at the little carnival in town hanging out with some of her friends, and she just got back, so she's kind of watching him right now, feeding him. So hopefully he goes to bed soon, because he was asleep. And then she got home, and my dog freaked out and woke him up.
No. Are we already part of a party at this point? Or are we meeting each other here in the council room? Does anyone know?
I'm assuming we're all just meeting.
That's kind of what I'm under the assumption of. Is that we're just meeting for the first time. Or, not first time, but yeah.
Right. For the sake of this quest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the little assistant throwing out we only accept parties of 4 or 5 was maybe a hint that, hey look, we're a party of 4, conveniently.
Yeah, felt very well.
Secretly, Ro is 2 gnomes stacked on top of each other.
This party has 4 rock gnomes.
Okay, let's see if this works any better.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Oh, is it? All right.
I mean, turn you down just a little bit.
Oops.
It's definitely coming through clearly, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so where were we? You guys were...
I believe the last we heard, parties of 4 or 5 were the limit.
Yep. So he kind of looks around. Okay, who is here first?
I was.
Okay. Who's with you? Is it just you?
I just point to Ro.
Oh, well, you're going to need more than that. She doesn't want to, I'm going to tell you, Dolka's a little old. She doesn't want to repeat this too many times.
Ro looks down at Zag and says, I think, sir, it's time to get a party together, as you had talked about.
Would you two care to join us?
Well, today is your lucky day, sir. Sin strides up. Fortunately, I am here, and I will be there to lead you into the caverns.
Eris just looks at Zag. Sure.
So the assistants all, oh, yes, is that you, Starsong? I would think that you would have some say, since it is, after all, your mentor who is in the caves.
Naturally.
Okay, well, Dolga will talk to up to 5. Do you want one of those people? Points
No.
around.
I believe I suffice for 2.
Okay. So, he leads you through the double doors and into the council chamber. It is empty. He keeps on walking and goes out through the back. And in the back, there is a desk. There's an elderly dwarf there, female dwarf. And she looks up and says, the first group. All right, you've heard about the reward?
We have, and fret not, for we are the solution to your problem.
Well, that would be very helpful because we have not been very successful about choosing people. Uh, do you have any specific questions? I can tell you where the expeditions have been going and how to get there and anything else that I think can be of help.
That information would be fantastic, dear woman.
Well, anything specifically?
Let's start at the beginning. Where is it located?
Well, you should know especially Connor Bain found that tunnel that went underneath the lake and into or under the Black Hill. It's only been 8 days. Well, 7 since Connor went in first and braved those new tunnels. And when he came out, he dragged, I don't know, some rotten piece of metal is what I heard. And then he went in again just a few days ago, but I'd say second time wasn't a charm.
Where is this rotten piece of metal currently?
It is at my home.
Oh, that's good.
It's functional?
I would not know. My studies are in important matters only.
Well, anyway, if you go in, we don't like to send too many people in because they don't seem to come out. We've lost those halflings. And then we lost, well, we could lose those thugs. They were kind of pretty bad. And then, we lost also that other group, but they were outsiders, so I didn't really care about them either. But Connor Bain, we care about.
Naturally. Is there a map of any sort to the areas already explored, or have the expeditions gone lost? Are the ones that have been lost, I assume their bodies have not been recovered?
Nope, haven't seen any bodies. I mean, maybe they found a way out. Who knows? Maybe they're someplace else, but they didn't come back here, and they didn't claim their reward. Not that Connor Bain was getting a reward. He was doing it for his own sake.
As he always does. No, indication of what may have gotten him, is there?
No. Haven't seen any, bodies floating in the lake. But, when Connor, he didn't tell you any of this? He told it to the council. He said that they came across vermin and scavengers. And, what did he say? Strange humanoids that kind of blended into the shadow of the cave walls. And a nest of gremlins, yes.
Ro immediately looks at Zag and raises both eyebrows.
Zag snorts.
Gremlins, you say? I see. Well, Sin turns the other. Do you all have any questions? Come now, I can't be the only one.
Ro looks at Sin and says, would it be possible that Zag and I could look at your junk metal?
Oh, yes, definitely. That sounds very interesting.
Sin shrugs and says, sure, I don't care.
How is that going to help? Well, I don't know. I didn't see this thing. I don't know these things. Just give me something to hit and I'm happy.
Oh, I like her.
She's like looking at you guys. Okay, look. I've been desk writing for a while. I'm just a little impatient. But I'm not going under the water. Have you seen the water in Weeping Pond? Really, really.
Out of character, how much did Bane actually tell Sin about any of this? Has he said anything at all before he disappeared the second time?
Um, so he did bring back an automation that seemed to be completely non-functional. Shoved it into a storeroom. You do know that he talked a little bit about the possibility that the caves continue on to further, deeper places, as well as he came across a wall made out of sky metal that he could not get through.
Okay.
Shall we head to your place and check out this junk of metal?
Out of character, has Sin examined the chunk at all? I imagine he hasn't, because he has no interest in technology whatsoever, if it's not magical.
Yeah, no. He knows that Connor spent a bit of time in with it, but seemed frustrated and just left it.
Okay. Sin nods to Zag and turns back to Dolga and says, "Is there anything else? Any advice?"
Yeah, you're gonna need to go to see Joram Kite before you go, because he's got the whole water breathing you're going to need. And
Excellent.
He can only cast it on a few, so you guys are first in line. If you don't come back, he'll cast it on someone else.
Don't come back. There is a time limit?
Well, yeah. So, I don't know this magical stuff. You'll have to talk to him, but he can get a group and give them something like 6 hours of water breathing. That should be enough time.
I see. Okay. And where might we find him? Will he be at the entrance or at the edge of the lake, even?
No, he's either up at his temple or at the Crowfeather Palace. I haven't talked to him this morning. He sleeps in.
Okay. Then let us make haste.
All right. Where are you guys heading?
I guess we'll head. I guess how close are the tavern to where we are now? What number is the council building?
Council building. Okay. They don't make it easy. They put torch way at the end. Okay, it is right. Sorry, I'm gonna move Dolga. $15 on the map.
Okay. And which one is the temple and what was the other thing she said? Crow something?
So, a couple of things. She mentioned Crowfeather Palace, and let's find them. And that is here, number 10. Okay, and that is where you kind of know that this lake, the Weeping Pond, is has a lot of taint in it. Sorry. So this lake here is more filtered. That is Crowfeather Lake. The pond itself up here is pretty disgusting.
And 9 is where the entrance is.
And so 9 is where the entrance is.
Okay.
Okay. And then she also mentioned that he could be at the temple, which is here.
Okay. The path that leads past 10 up to 24, past the palace up to like the torch, is that on an incline? So we couldn't take that path to 9, could we?
So you're asking this one path that goes up past 10, can you take it? Is that what you're asking?
Right. I'm asking, would we have to, essentially, if we climbed up to 10, would we have to come back and go all the way around to 9? Or will,
No,
I guess, more...
you could come down to 9. It's just, it's steep. But it's doable. It's
Right,
like
but it would make more sense just to go around, and that way we could actually stop by the tavern as we do, right? I guess which way would make more sense to get there?
Where are you going?
I guess I'm thinking if we can go by the... Because they want to go by the tavern to see the automaton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then yeah, if we want to go by 17, get the thing, and then go to 12 to check the automaton, and then we'll go to 9 to go into the entrance? Yes? No?
That works. Or we could try to snag a kid off the street and make him do all the running. Go find the person, tell him to meet us at the pond.
Does someone want to roll persuasion? See if they can get a kid off the street?
I'm sorry, one second, my dog is... Oh, I'm sorry, one second.
Row really should not roll persuasion.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was distracted. What are we doing?
If Ro had suggested getting a kid off the street to go go to the temple and have Joram meet you.
Does Sin know Joram? Or do any of us know him? Do we know if he's inclined to meet us at the number 9? So I'll absolutely roll persuasion for it. I just want to make sure it's something that would make sense.
Let's see. Joram. Yeah, I would say Joram overall is well known.
Okay.
Seeing if I can find a picture of him, but I can't, so.
And we believe, he'd be inclined to meet us at the at number 9.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. We'll roll persuasion.
Okay. So you're actually persuading a young kid. So you find someone straight outside of the town hall. Are you throwing anything in to sweeten the deal or no?
That's a good question. How much? I need to figure out how much money I start off. But I imagine I at least have a silver, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And he says, "You there, boy."
Yeah.
Okay, Sin will flick him a silver and say, "Go find Jorgen. Tell him that the first group of adventurers, led by myself, the hero, are going to be at the lake soon, and we will need his magic."
Oh, okay. Find Joram. Meet at the lake. Got it.
Okay. To the tavern, then.
Yeah, he takes off. Just a second. All right. It's still pretty early in the morning. I should put him in people's. I'll put the counselor in too. All right. So you guys approach the foundry. You know it's one of the more popular places in town, even though it's been closed down ever since Connor Bain has gone missing. And as you approach, you do hear someone scream out from behind the tavern. The housing building, actually, that Sen would know is the actual home.
Scream out like in fear and anger?
Mostly fear, sounds like, and surprise.
Does it sound like Val?
It does sound like Val.
Okay. Then Sin immediately takes off.
Okay. So the tavern itself is like many of the structures in Torch, very functional. Though it does have this nice wraparound, kind of like patio type of thing, stairs that go up into the tavern. Next to it is a foundry, where essentially the equivalent of a forge, but it also has been closed down while Connor Bain has been missing. And then behind both of those buildings is the home itself. It's actually a little more decorated with the stone facade, but and that is where the sound came from.
Sin will rapidly approach the house, calling out, "This is Val?"
All right. Okay. Just a moment. So you hear a response, essentially, Val's voice saying, Sen, it's gone crazy.
Okay. Um, are we? We're not having a roll
No.
initiative, so Sin will immediately press a hand to his chest and cast Mage Armor. And he will move in the direction of Val's voice.
So Val's voice is coming from inside the house. The front door is there. The doors are all closed. The windows you can kind of see in a little bit. So Sen, you know that the setup of the house has a couple of bedrooms. You've got the smaller bedroom that doesn't have a window. Val's got a larger one, and then there's a set of stairs in the storage room that actually go up to where Connor usually stays.
Okay.
Okay.
The door is closed, so
The
can I
door
open
is
it?
closed. All right. Let me.
How far did I move? That's 20, 25. Okay, and this door to my far right is closed as well?
So yeah, currently all the doors are closed, and this is a good time to roll initiative.
Wow.
Oh,
All right, good job, guys.
hold on, Rooter Ranger. I get advantage on initiative.
Okay.
Oh my god, okay.
Wow. There you go.
So when I tap my icon, I don't have wild magic.
So sad.
So what did I miss, by the way?
What's the last thing you heard?
I think we were discussing where everything was on the map.
Oh, okay. Ro had the idea to send a kid to get the priest to meet us at the lake. So Sin persuaded a kid with a silver coin to go do it, while we went to the foundry for you and Ro to look at the automaton. As we got closer, we hear a voice screaming, and then Sin calls out, and she responds that something's gone crazy. So now we're running in to deal with that situation.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my goodness, hold on. Turn that off. All right. Eris, you are up. What are you doing at this point in time?
I guess I'll be moving forward. Yeah. And, to Sin, she'll be like, did you even lock that thing up properly?
I don't know. I don't deal with technology.
All right. Sen, I don't know if you remember where Val had told you the robot was.
I'm definitely not scrolling through my chat real fast.
And that's the memory.
Stored near your bedroom, not mine. These. I assume that these two things directly in front of me are. I'm sorry?
So let me, since you live here, the one right in front of you, is Val's bedroom. The door further down the hall, this one here is your bedroom. And this leads it more into the common area, and beyond that is the door to the storage area.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Is it still Eris' turn? Is she waiting on Sin? Okay, so Sin will point in the direction.
Okay, is there room enough for me to move past him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I can only move like another 10 feet, so...
Open the door. Can you see it? How big is it? It's the right door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess she's dashing then. And I'll open the door.
Okay. You open the door. Second. All right. You open the door. You can see as you open the door that there appears to be something that does look like a robot. It's kind of jerking. It got this staggering gait, and it also seems to be trying to pull things off the shelf and look through. It's just got a mess of things around it, but it's got buckets flying in the air as it seems to be searching for something.
Alright. She'll yell at it and be like, hey, what are you doing?
It is about 5 feet tall, just so you know. Okay.
That's fine.
Gray and white, metal-like polymer, and it does have these 3 spider-like legs, so it can kind of walk. And a big blazing eye in the center of its head.
Very, Incredibles.
Yes, very Incredibles. Okay. Wonder which came first. I'd have to look. Okay. There are some parts of it that are open and exposed, and you can see some of the wires and such. And it does make this kind of loud, tortured grinding noise as it moves. Sen, you are up. Did you want to dash any more, Eris?
Oh, no, I'm good. Over here.
All right.
Okay, so 25 feet past Eris into the room. Is Val in this room?
Val is not in this room.
Okay, then Sid immediately steps right back out. And he closes the door.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I am containing the problem. Val?
You hear Val, it looks like she's crawled under the table over here. And she says, did you get him?
I'm working on it. It takes time. The hero's plan needs a little bit more to come to fruition. You stay right there. I will guard this hallway so it cannot come to you. The rest of you, come in.
started moving.
Yes, technology is awful that way.
All right. That's your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So you hear the loud grinding noise as it slams itself against the door.
Containment is failing.
And pushes its way through and keeps pushing. Eris, it is going to try to slam into you. 12, I don't think hits.
Nope.
Okay, and it kind of like careens against the wall, and then hits the door jamb, doorway on the other side, and starts kind of like bouncing down the hall a little bit. Just saying. Okay. Zag, you are up.
Alright. Sorry, I'm just trying to read something real quick.
Okay.
Alright. Zag's gotta move a little bit closer to see what he can see. So from here, I guess, can I see, like, do I notice anything specific that's, like, wrong with this robot? Or automaton?
Okay, so looking at it from here, it's kind of like turned its with delicate insides down away from you, but it does look like it is looking for something. It's like clawing at things. It looks like maybe something in its programming is sending it looking for something.
Would Zag know, like, based on the type of automaton it is, what kind of thing it would be looking for? If I rolled, like, an investigation, or...
Well, you have history engineering.
Yeah.
You can roll that.
Okay.
Nice roll.
Nice.
All right. Looking at this, you have not seen any of these in Torch, but you have seen in your travels, you saw something that was very similar, this three-legged type of thing with the one eye and these four-fingered hands on each arm. And but it was completely inert. And the merchant who was trying to sell it for an exorbitant amount said it was a repair bot. That it was a low-grade repair drone robot. He told you that usually the power cells on these things appear to not last very long. They're not high quality. And most every single repair bot that has been found in a state that it really doesn't repair anything.
I don't think it's gonna hurt anybody. I'm pretty sure it's just trying to fix things by making a bigger mess. But the batteries in those things are pretty short-lived, so I don't think it's gonna be doing that for very long. And I guess, unless it tries to attack me, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Ro?
Ro would be getting closer to where everybody is. Let me see. Zag is by a window. would she have seen what he said about it as she was...
I would say you were probably right on his tail because you guys are pretty much have the same initiative.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay, so do you think she would have...
though I will admit he probably was turned away.
Could she have seen his reflection in the window?
I'm going to say no, and the reason is my from where Zag is, he was probably looking at the robot while he was talking.
Right? Okay.
And Sin does leave those windows spotless.
Sen doesn't do any of the housework.
I would think he'd like to see his reflection.
It's a little wax on there.
Right? Let me see. At this point, she can't see anything. Okay, she'll just go ahead and kind of use a dash. And I'm assuming she can move through the two little people? Too?
Yeah.
Through their space?
Usually you can move through friendlies just fine.
Okay. And she will, I guess, just step right there, right next to it. And she looks at Zag and asks, should I try to subdue or destroy it, sir?
Destroy it! Destroy it!
She does not seem to notice at all Sen is talking.
Did Zag know where the batteries were? Like if they're easily accessible on that thing?
Yes, Zag knows that the batteries aren't easily accessible, and certainly not where this hole is with the circuitry. So it's a little surprising to see this thing up and running when it wasn't before.
You can subdue it. I don't. If we just let it run, it should just die in a little bit because the batteries don't last very long.
I am not going to let this thing run rampant through my home.
We can just let Sven deal with it.
I mean, the hero could certainly handle this by himself, but really, you all need to prove yourself worthy.
I've got a bear trap if we want to let it step in it.
Yes, that. Do that. Immediately.
Does anybody have any broken tech on them?
No.
No. We can kill it. It doesn't matter. We can salvage parts from it after it's done. I'd like to see why it's still working, so.
I mean, if it's still following its search routines, it could be a help if we take it back down under.
Okay.
I think
Eris
Rose...
is...
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Oh, yeah,
No,
it's
no,
still Rose's turn.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I think Ro would try to restrain it.
So grapple it?
Yes.
Okay.
So that would be a strength or an athletics check.
It would be a strength, and it can do either an athletics or acrobatic.
Okay, so I have to do a strength. Though. A
Yes.
strength. Drat. Okay.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see, it has a... Okay. You have it grappled.
Well done, tall one.
And she, whenever she grapples it, she just wraps her arms all the way around it, trying to keep its arms in, and then she just says, completely changing her accent and everything, she says, "There now, wee one. It'll all be over soon."
Okay. It is still whirring. There's like these metal limbs that are kind of still flailing about a little bit.
Okay.
And Ro, do you just continue to try to hold it? Eris, it is your turn.
Yes, I will keep holding it. Until
I guess.
someone sets up a trap or something, or says let go.
Yeah. You want the bear trap or the rope?
Both. Bear trap first, tied up after.
Alright. Eris will carefully pull out her bear trap. Let me pull that up real quick so I can see what I need to do.
Whoever uses bear traps.
You always need a bear trap. It's the one thing that Daredevil can't see.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
While Eris is getting all the equipment ready, Val's coming out from under the table. She looks a little dusty.
Worry not, Val. I have this firmly under control.
Alright, so Eris starts pulling out the bear trap and she drives a spike into the floor so she can secure it down.
What?
And she'll set it down close to the legs so that Ro can get it into the trap.
Okay. So you set up the trap. Ro, I need you to do a strength check to kind of rotate it around. If anyone would like to assist, they could essentially roll to possibly add to your score.
I would love to assist.
All right.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
Yeah. So Ro, you're tugging this thing over. Zag is reaching over and grabbing one of the flailing legs, and you guys manage to get it over the bear trap, and it snaps shut.
Yes, excellent teamwork.
On two of the legs, and the thing kind of.
Yeah, it'll take 1d4 piercing damage.
Okay. Do you want to roll it, or do you want me to?
There.
Okay. It continues to flail around, but it is, almost permanently grappled. Its whirring and loud grinding noises are getting louder. And as far as you could tell, as you watch this thing, the batteries are not running down at all.
And it's getting louder?
Yeah, it sounds like it's under more kind of duress.
Okay.
It's kind of flopping around. Val's all, now what?
You got a wheelbarrow?
It sounds like it's about to attack!
It's currently being hugged.
We don't have a wheelbarrow. Can we just drag it outside?
Who doesn't have a wheelbarrow?
We use magic!
It's attached to the ground.
I could just end this with one strike now, but you're right. We should carry it out.
It continues to kind of flail around. It's like taking a couple of chunks out of the wall.
Stop that! The old man's gonna be mad at me!
Right. I guess I can get the feet.
Right?
Alright. Well, count of 3, I'll pull this spike out and we'll carry it out.
All right. Go ahead, you and Ro do a strength check.
Don't fail me now. Oh, I knew it would.
Okay. So Ro, as Eris lifts up her bear trap and with the 2 caught tentacles, it overbalances you, slips out of your hands. It kind of thunks on the ground. A couple of these arm hand things flail into the air, still taking out more chunks of the wall. But you guys do manage to slowly drag it outside.
Val, you stay here. And clean this up. I'll be outside.
Nice seeing you.
Oops.
Thanks for taking care of that, she says as she starts cleaning things up.
It is the hero's duty.
All right. And as you guys leave, Val says or shouts out to Sen, "You should probably let them stay at the tavern while it's closed. If we're all working together, or you are."
Yes, very well. I am as magnanimous as I am powerful.
All right. So you drag this thing out in between the buildings. It is still flopping and flailing. It looks like it is not ready to stop at all.
Do we have that rotten metal?
Rotten metal?
I don't know. That's what I thought you used or described it as. That metal that they found, that Bane found and brought back.
It's this thing. This automaton is that thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yes. Even though I described it, well, I didn't describe it as that. Dolga described it as that, but
Oh. That's what I meant.
You're there. Scrap. Cease and desist immediately.
so it is still reaching out. Occasionally, you guys kind of have to duck from one of the arms as it like even digging into the ground. Zag, if you want to roll another history engineering check. Okay. Looking at it, you can see that it does seem to be built the same way as that one that the merchant had. So you recognize that the battery pack is someplace. It's a little odd. You can see some that the battery pack is old and corroded and looks like it might have been spent, but somehow recharged in some way.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, we are essentially out of combat, so
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna walk up and try to rip the batteries out.
okay. I'm going to have you do a dexterity check with the proficiency for tools.
So what do I add to that? Just the 3?
Typical proficiency. What? So 2
+2 at level 1.
Yeah.
Oh, so 11.
Yeah. You managed to get one battery kind of out and wedged. It kind of slows down. It still is flopping around, but it's these like slow type of motion. And after a little bit, you do reach in and get that second one.
Well done, Zig.
Zag looks at Sen
Ah,
and doesn't
yes,
say.
Zig, Zag. That could be a catchphrase. You should have zigged when I was Zag. You know, that kind of thing.
Anybody ever tell you to not just go giving gnomes new nicknames?
Oh no. I'm sure he appreciates it. Don't you, Zag?
Absolutely. Does Sen appear to have anything valuable on him?
My guess is no.
No, he doesn't.
Dang.
I
Well,
don't
he
think
doesn't.
he really cares about his magic, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't have tech either. So, well, Zag will just roll his eyes and continue examining the batteries. Do they seem to have a full charge?
So the batteries on this thing, they're these round, flat, almost like, well, kind of like puffy pancake type of shape. And they seem to have some sort of charge. It doesn't seem, it seems very rough. It seems like these wouldn't hold a charge, but somehow they are.
I'll just put them in my bag for later.
Okay.
Well, any clues that might help us with the caves?
No, it's just weird that these batteries don't look like they would hold a charge, but somehow they did. Not that you would care, since you don't like the technology.
Sin shrugs. I could try powering electricity into one if you wish.
Yeah, here, hold it in your hand and do that. And I give him one of them.
Okay, Sin takes it, and he casts what's it called? Shocking Grasp on the battery.
All right.
Do I need to actually roll damage?
Yeah, let's roll damage.
Jeez, that was a good one. Oh, never mind. Oh,
That was the hit. But I imagine I hit it because I'm holding it in my hand.
Yeah.
So the charge kind of goes off of it and through. It doesn't feel like it actually stayed within the battery.
I think it's broken.
Here, let me hold it.
Sin hands it back.
Zag will lick the battery.
Oh, this sounds so familiar. Okay. All right. Yes, there seems to be some sort of charge still in this.
After tasting that metallic taste, he's like, "Oh no, it's got some charge on it. It's got some juice."
See, I must have improved it.
Yes, that is. Yeah. Anyway, is there anything else that's weird about this robot that Zag might notice?
Okay. Looking at this robot, no, it looks like it has had a lot of damage over time. It's pretty old. Looks like it suffered from many, many years of neglect.
If Ro will step in front of it and kind of flip her hood, the hood of her dress off of her black hair, and just look at it and see if she can, and do a few hand motions and see if she can spark some communication with it.
Okay. Now, its batteries are out right now.
Oh, did it completely power down?
Yes. Once he pulled the second battery out, it completely powered down.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Does it have any like sensory pieces on it that I could perhaps find since I know of something?
Okay, I need a little bit more of
I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that?
yes, you were asking about sensory pieces.
Sorry, I thought I was holding the button, but I wasn't. Something that will, let the robot hear things.
Oh. Looking at this, no. No, it looks like it gets programmed directly in.
Okay.
I guess probably visual, but
So no indication of why it suddenly turned itself on.
Can Ro inspect it and see if there's like, my brain just went blank. Those panels that absorb sunlight?
solar
panels.
panels.
Yes,
Solar
thank
panels.
you. Thank you. Solar panels. See if there's like some sort of solar panel system on it type of thing.
Yeah, go ahead, do an investigation.
Okay. A 14.
All right. Looking at this, there seems to be no type of solar panels. It looks like this was primarily just through its batteries, its power cell.
Okay.
Rogue, did you want me to maybe put one of these batteries back a little bit so you can track to whatever you were doing there?
And she stands straight and says, "If you think it would be a good idea, sir."
Sin takes a few steps back.
All right, Zag puts a battery kind of back there, ready to pull it back if it starts to go haywire.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you put it in, it starts kind of flopping again, and the kind of fingers are still looking for something.
Okay. Ro will grab its fingers and just kind of put her hand in it, see what happens. All the while trying to catch its eye. This is such a bad idea.
Yeah, so the fingers are just kind of like clawing type of thing. They're just opening and closing, and because they're large metal, and the eye itself does not seem to register.
Okay. And there's no particular pattern to it, it's just all erratic?
Yeah.
Okay, so she'll pull back and just shake her head at Zag.
I'll pull the battery out.
Out of character, how often does Connor deal with technology like this? Is this a first time thing? Like he's never done it before, or is it something he messes with often?
Probably neither. He does work with it. He's not scared of it. Part of the foundry is to sometimes work a little bit with what he's found, but he's not really. He works more with the metals than the technology itself.
So Sin doesn't have any real exposure to this kind of technology. Not enough to ask any questions.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Ro does look at Zag and say, surprisingly, it is in remarkable shape compared to most specimens that you've told me you have seen.
It's pretty beat up, but it's not as bad as others.
Should we try to store it and repair it? As we have time, of course.
Yeah, we could take it back to the shop and drop it off.
How heavy is this thing? I mean, we managed to struggle it out here, so I imagine we can carry it, right?
Yeah, you could probably carry it.
Okay.
I'm 3.5 feet tall, and I'm -1 strength, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
Sin's
sorry,
not exactly a muscle man over here either.
Some can carry it.
I have 0 strength.
I'm pretty sure from her rolls, I think Ro has 1 strength.
Yeah. If I could use athletics, that's better.
We could just drag it, like, between the 4 of us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could drag it.
Then
This
we'll
is why
encourage
we
you
use a
all.
wheelbarrow.
Before everyone leaves, Sin will step back inside to check on Val.
Okay. Yeah, she's cleaned up a lot of the rubble.
Okay. He kind of just peeks his head at the door. He says, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it scared me, that's all.
Okay.
Thanks for coming back in time.
Of course. It is what a hero would do. I'm off. Don't die. And he leaves.
He does hear behind him her shout, I could say the same to you.
Huh. He just scoffs and walks out.
All right. So you guys take this back to the Red Door and Sundry?
Sure.
All right. Zag and Ro, I'll have you describe your store.
It's more of the junky stuff has been organized by Ro, but mostly Zag just kind of throws the stuff he's not too into on a couple of tables by the door as you walk in, and then as the further you go in the shop, the better quality stuff it gets on the shelves on the side, and then all the stuff behind the counter is like the best quality stuff he's got. Otherwise, it's pretty sparse in there, not a whole lot going on.
There are some, like, just cheap pieces of flashy metal and stuff all strung on, like, fishing line and hanging from the rafters in a pattern of a flying bird.
I'm probably interested in. We'll look up at it. But that is impressive.
Is he behind her or in front of her?
I don't know. I imagine he's behind her since this is where you two live or work.
So then there's no response.
That's
At least
a
not
little
from Ro.
rude.
That just kind of flinches a little bit.
All right. Is there any particular place you would put the robot?
Just gonna throw it on the counter for now.
Ro, of course, straightens it up and keeps it nice and moves the other things off the counter. And cleans up any messes he makes.
All right, where to next?
To the
I feel
lake,
like-
I believe.
All right. I want to find some more cool tech. We got a couple working batteries. That's exciting.
We are at the blue squares, if memory serves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then yes, let us continue forth.
All right. So you guys are heading towards the Weeping One, correct?
Yes, number 9.
All right. You notice that as the sun comes up and it's getting warmer outside, the smell of garbage is stronger. There are some people who are kind of, guess the way would be sorting the garbage. They're just trying to keep it away from the front of their house by sliding it in front of someone else's. There tends to be this sort of dance that goes on through the morning, as depending on who is outside at the time.
It's very passive aggressive.
Yes. Well, there are probably some places that it erupts into a little bit more of a aggressive.
Mm.
Okay. As you come up to the edge of the lake, you do see Joram Kite there. He is he's an elderly man, pretty spry looking though. And um, and he says, "Wow, I have not brought this magical item out for a long time, but it is good to see it having some use."
Sid perks up at the magical item.
Yeah. He goes, "And you are the ones who are wanting to go into this brackish water?"
Yes, my friend. I am Sin Starsong, the hero, and these are my companions to travel henceforth.
Well, brave people. I wouldn't dip my toe in. But most of the other people who I've given this spell to have asked about what Connor Bain has seen around here that made him find the tunnels. Do you want me to point out?
Absolutely.
So he kind of walks along the edge of the water, and he says, "Over here, if you look carefully, there's the tracks that first set Connor Bain off to thinking something was going on. See how all these tracks enter in and don't come out?"
Sin nods.
And over here, he kind of like walks another 20 feet along the bank. Over here, this is where most of the people have decided to enter. The bank slopes down a little more easily, and as you look, you can see that this one has a few more in and out type of tracks, but there's a set of really small tracks you expect to be the halflings that go in, and you see none that kind of come outward.
Okay. What will we be looking for precisely once we're under the water?
Well, that's the difficult part. So this water's a little tainted. Can cause you to feel a little sick, just sick. Shouldn't have to throw up too often, and I can only cast this spell maximum twice per day.
And we were led to believe it lasts about 6 hours.
Yes. If I'm only casting it on 2 of you, it could last 12.
No, we are a team. 6 it is.
Cast it twice, and then do 12 hours on each of us.
Well, I could do that. But this wand needs about an hour recharge in between. And if you want to wait, then it only becomes 11, but you could do that.
Should we go for a longer time?
It's still early morning.
It's still early morning.
Do we have any food or provisions with us?
I have my Dungeoneer's pack.
Right. I'm wondering if we'll need to return to town to eat and maybe confer with anyone with what we found and then return later in the day. Or if we should just do one singular long drive or dive. Okay, well, in character, I will say, I believe it'd be better for the 6 hour, so we may explore, see what we can find. If anything to report, we can report back, eat, and make a plan to deal with for our secondary dive.
That sounds good. Let's go ahead and do that. That way we don't have to dedicate ourselves to 12 hours of being in there. Even though I would love to be in there because there's probably all sorts of cool gadgets.
Okay. He says, now I don't know where the entrance is to the caves. You'll have to kind of, feel around a bit. But this is where they seem to go in, and this is actually where, right along that direction, he kind of like points down into the water, even with the shoreline. That is where I believe Connor Bain came up when he returned after that first successful expedition. So
Okay.
that might be where you will want to go. It
Okay.
kind of points to something in the middle, almost like dead center in the middle of the lake.
This is probably a long shot, but is there any way to tell from like the tracks leading in from the other teams and then from Connor Bain's, various sets of tracks that I can have a better guess of where the entrance might be?
Yeah, go ahead and do a survival check.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, looking at this, you think that where Jorm pointed is pretty close to where all the tracks might lend the idea of an entrance.
Okay.
But
Then-
it is difficult to tell exactly where.
And so nods. Says that seems an accurate guess as any. Shall we?
We shall.
All right.
Sen's gonna lean forward and kind of like examine the staff as he uses it.
Zag might accidentally bump into him, so he could fall into the water.
Who are you trying to push in the water, or?
Oh, was there already a question? It's Sen.
Yeah, Sen.
Okay. All right.
I don't have a person yet.
This is all the revenge coming back.
And-
Okay. All right. So, what
And,
I'm hearing.
I'm gonna go into sneak too while I do this.
Okay. So you're going to try to stealth
Yes.
to get close enough to, essentially, the equivalent of a sleight of hand to push him into the water.
Yeah, like a surprise bump. Like, whoops! Oh, see there. Do you want me to roll stealth?
Yep. Okay.
+7. Wow.
All right. Then I need a sleight of hand.
Dope.
Okay, and I need a dexterity saving throw.
From me?
Yep.
Shoot.
Oh, careful there, Zach. I didn't see you.
I'm not here. You can't see me.
You just bumped into me. I can see you right there.
Oh, sorry.
That's quite all right. Just try to be more self-aware.
Okay. Zag will slink away into the water real slow.
You might want to wait for the spell. Okay.
Oh, I thought we got the spell.
All right. So, as you are like stepping towards the water, the spell does go off. You feel almost wet, even though you guys aren't wet. And Joram says, "That should do you. 12 hours. Don't push it. This isn't something flexible. It will just stop working."
You mean 6 hours, right?
Oh, sorry, 6 hours. That's right.
Okay, just to clarify.
All right. Okay, so who is going to start looking for the entrance?
Sounds like Zag's already halfway in the water.
Yeah, I'll go look.
Okay, so Zag, go ahead. First of all, roll an intelligence check.
Nice.
Okay, very nice. This water is very murky. You can tell immediately, first of all, as you enter, it smells bad and your skin starts tingling and itching. Okay, but you can tell that you will have very, very little visibility once you go underwater. So a lot of this might be by touch.
Okay.
You also worry that once you find the place and surface, that you might not find it easily again.
Maybe we should tie ourselves to each other. Because this might be hard to find.
An excellent idea, Zach.
That
I
seems
approve.
logical.
We tie ourselves together then.
All right. So you guys have 50 feet of rope. You tie yourselves in a line. Is there a specific order or no?
Senna will bring up the rear.
I can go first. I've got a walking stick.
I'll go second then.
Shoot
Okay.
people in the front.
Yeah.
We can see through the water first.
All right. After Eris and Zag.
I guess if Sen wants to be in the very back row, we'll be after them.
Yes, go ahead, tall one.
She just smiles at him and says, "My name is Ro."
Yes, bro. He says it kind of like absently, like he's not really listening.
Zag will tap Ro on the shoulder and get her attention, so she's like making eye contact with him
And she
And-
looks.
and mouth. I'm going to cut the rope after we get in there.
Her smile kind of fades and she tilts her head a little bit with a slight look of alarm.
No, just the back end.
You realize the back end would include cutting her away too, right? Out of character? Because
Oh.
you'd have to reach around her to cut off Sin, and Sin would just see you reach around cutting the rope.
Not if we're in the murky water.
Okay.
He is shorter than both of you, so
That's true.
he'll be under.
All right. So Eris is leading. I need a survival check from Eris.
Okay.
All right. You start to essentially walk into this water. It's very placid here. There's no waves. There's no vegetation along the banks. Um, you can smell as you get, closer to the surface of the water. There's just this smell of sulfur and other chemicals, and your eyes kind of start watering a bit. Um, there are no fish, and this is tainted with some of the runoff from the Black Hill. All
Need
right.
to invest in some goggles.
Okay. As you guys kind of slowly wade in, Jorm calls from the shore, "Don't drink it!"
Yeah, kind of getting that.
All right. So Eris starts kind of swimming towards where kind of everyone has been pointing to. The water here is not super deep, but it's definitely one where even Ro has to duck down. It's probably about 20 feet deep. Though it's a little hard to tell because, you kind of swim. You're not quite sure how far you go down before you do feel the bottom. It is stone, but it's kind of like a slimy stone. So what you're kind of doing is you're just feeling around at the bottom.
Yeah, she'll be using her walking stick to kind of extend her reach,
Okay.
so to help her feel around.
Okay. Do an investigation.
Okay.
At advantage. Okay. It takes you probably about 20 minutes, and you find a spot that suddenly your walking stick kind of goes in, like no resistance. And moving towards that, you can feel that there is a hole that is wide enough to pass into. Seems to be part of a tunnel.
Okay, she'll tug on the rope behind her twice, and start moving towards the hole.
Okay.
Zag will do the same thing and start to move towards the hole.
Okay. So yeah, Zag, you don't know that there's kind of a hole there. You just kind of are following. All this time, you've probably also, because a rope wouldn't go in a direct straight line. Everyone's been kind of like feeling along the bottom of this lake, and then you do eventually find get tugged into the right place to get into the tunnel. Eris, you notice that this tunnel, it's dark. You just because the water's so murky, you don't know, but you're assuming as you go into a tunnel, it's also dark. It continues on several feet, probably about 40, 45 feet. Okay, so
Okay.
by this time, you guys have kind of like all gotten into this tunnel. I do need Constitution saving throws from everyone.
Wow, Zach with the natural 20s.
Yeah. It's too bad I can't do them when it matters.
Underwater high five.
Bubbles everywhere.
What is the con save for? Is it for like...
It's yeah. So this one would be for essentially poison.
Okay, she gets
Advantage.
advantage.
Okay.
Oh, that's
All right.
better.
That is better. Okay, so you guys all feel nauseous going through this, but you fight it off. I'm not gonna say you get used to it because you don't, but but you do feel as if okay, someday this will end. All right. Um, some of the foulness actually does get a little diluted because occasionally you will come across leaching through the stone underground springs, small ones that lead to a little bit of fresh water. All right. The other thing I need is an athletics check, please.
What?
Matchy.
Wow, Zach!
Gee.
Is that 3 natural 20s in a row?
And it's not even for fighting.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So
I
because you
know.
guys,
It's not even for anything important.
because you
Well, I mean,
guys
this
are
just
all tied together, it does take a little bit because Eris is leading. Um, Zag is behind her occasionally because she'll slip in this tunnel, and he's just like pushing her forward. Um, Zag is actually pushing Eris forward and dragging Ro behind him. This kind of weird gnome tug of war type of thing going through the tunnels. Um, and eventually, you guys do kind of emerge into a cavern, which seems to have an underground stream that kind of was working its way back through the tunnel, so it's kind of like going backwards. So hold on one second. I need to a tunnel. Does everyone have dark vision?
Send us.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to say everyone does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good, because I did not choose light as a cantrip.
It's okay, we've got a lot of wet torches.
You do? All prepared.
Okay. As soon as their feet are on kind of dry ground and stuff, Ro will tap Zag on the shoulder, and then with a smile, she'll offer him the length of rope between her and Sen.
Can Sin see this?
She's not hiding it.
Alright. So yeah, you guys kind of like emerge from the underwater tunnel, into it's still a tunnel, but the water is only a couple feet high as you guys come out of this tunnel, sloshing your way through. Okay.
Well done, short one.
There's a dampness that hangs in the air, not surprising. And there's a heavy moisture on the slick stone walls. And the water itself seems very calm and dark. And there seems to be a kind of stony, soot-scarred beach.
Is this water also dirty?
Yes.
Alright.
It does seem, like I said, there was an underwater stream, so the water actually is getting a little clearer. I mean, if you were to stick your head in the 2 feet of water, you could see a little bit further. Okay. And to the east, you can see a ledge with several stalagmites and a low-ceilinged cave beyond.
How dirty are our clothes after swimming through that water?
Pretty yucky.
Okay. Sen claps his hands twice and casts prestidigitation to clean himself.
All right.
Oh my word.
Okay. And like I said, the water is still enough to make the eyes water. They've been deep in it.
Eris is rinsing hers with her canteen.
Would anyone else like to be cleaned? I insist, really.
Ro raises her hand.
Sen claps his hands twice for each person who wants it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's my pleasure, I assure you.
I'm glad I didn't cut the rope.
I'm sorry, what? What was that?
Nothing. Zag would like to stealth.
Okay.
That's not the right one. No.
Oh,
Pulling in your bag.
you're just throwing away your good rolls.
All right. So, like I said, other than the beach, the water that you guys are wading in is about 2 feet deep, and
That's like to my chest.
you can see that there are scorch marks on the shore. And if you'd like, you can do a survival check.
We're all gonna die.
Right. Okay. You guys do notice as you come up on Eris onto the beach, there appear to be some beetles along on the sand. They seem to be large beetles.
Okay.
I need to get them, so.
Are we?
They're coming up out of the sand.
Do I have 2 tokens? Why do I see 2 tokens?
I only see one for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your token I can see is to the left of Ro.
I see another one like over here.
Over where?
I don't see you pinging.
Yeah, me either.
I'm trying to ping, but it's hard on a touch screen.
Oh.
Can you control that token that you see? I don't have a token on my screen for you there.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see anything either.
Oh. That's weird. Maybe it's just a glitch on mine.
It's his mirror image.
His guilty conscience is standing down there.
Only just met Sen and I was already trying to mess with him.
Are we near...
But Sen's so nice.
Right.
It's nice enough. Are we
Nothing but friendly.
Are we near the scorch marks on the sand? On the beach?
Yes.
I just realized what these beetles are as a player.
They're friends.
Yeah.
They're what?
They're friends.
We're not keeping one as a pet. Absolutely not.
They're gremlins.
Hey, that wasn't me.
All right. Yeah, you see these beetles kind of like emerge from the sand and make these odd clicking noises.
Do I recognize these beetles?
Do a nature check.
Can Sen do the same thing?
Mhm.
Rip.
They have glowing glands and they look hungry. You guys can see actually floating in the water some dead beetles as well. Maybe about 2 or 3 corpses.
Some deadbeats.
Maybe we should, just leave them alone. Let's just, let them do their thing.
Has Ro read anything before about these sorts of bugs? That she might be able to do a history check to recall.
I would say a nature check for it.
Okay, just nature. 21.
Yeah, they look like definitely in the beetle class, and definitely look like they could bite. And they shed kind of like a muted light.
Are the ones in the water still glowing?
No, they
Okay.
look like they might have been killed a while ago.
Can she tell, like, in this kind of damp atmosphere, like if they're if where they're glowing at, is that seem to be putting off heat, like steam or anything?
No, they don't seem to be hot in any way.
Okay.
Okay. And this is about a 5-foot cliff that looks like it possibly could be climbed with some work.
How tall is it?
5 feet.
Okay.
Sen says from behind everybody. We should, just leave them alone. We should just continue on.
Alright. Y'all wanna take the cliff or follow the stream?
Do we see footprints of any sort among the scorch marks?
So you did a survival check. I think everyone did, and don't see any footprints here. The stone is a little more like gravel.
Ro looks at Zag and says, "Should I lift you onto the cliff, sir?"
Yes, please. I don't think I could manage it by myself.
So she'll walk over to the cliff edge with Zag, like here,
Okay.
and
As you start to walk to the cliff edge, the beetles start coming towards you guys.
okay. She will try to very quickly lift Zag up and settle him on the edge of the cliff.
Okay. All right. Let's roll initiative.
Okay.
Wow, Zach.
I'm wasting.
Ready. Oh
you.
shoot, gotta roll twice.
All right, Zag, what would you like to do?
Sorry, I forgot I have to press the button.
Okay. So, shoot, I can't hear anything.
I'm gonna move over the water, and you said it was 2.5 feet deep, right?
Okay. Now, so you're jumping down from the cliff that Ro just lifted you up on?
Oh, I just assumed that she didn't quite get to that, and I was just gonna stay down here.
Okay.
Since they started coming at us, I was like, eh.
All right. Okay. She reached down for you and you dashed away.
Yes.
All right.
And I'll just. You said it's 2.5 feet deep here, right?
It's 2 feet deep. I mean, if you step into the water, it's about 2 feet.
So if I crouch down, can I be under the water?
Yes, you could be under the water.
Okay. And then I would like to hide or stealth or whatever I need to do.
Okay. So you run over to the water and you duck beneath it.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hold my action for if anything comes in range.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So Ro, beetles are kind of heading your direction, considering that one, you're closest, and two, they are heading that way. Let me just.
Okay.
All right. So Zag, you can use your held action for the push to talk.
I'm going to pop up and stab that one with my dagger.
Okay.
Dagger,
Definitely hit. Okay.
Friday the 13th movie.
All right. And it kind of turns over, rolls over.
Well done, Zach.
And, so let's go with Ro. This one's going to try to bite you.
All right.
Misses. And Eris, this one's going to try to bite you. And misses. They only have a +1. It's so funny.
I don't know why I keep accidentally hitting buttons.
Touchscreen.
It's the touchscreen.
It's fine. You do a flip for victory.
Yeah, after I killed it.
All right, Ro, you're up.
All right. She's going to pull out her mace And she's going to hit the one closest to Eris.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay. All right. I don't have the critical fumble things moving yet. You guys are safe.
Oh man!
All right.
Can always use a dislocated shoulder.
She
Just
accidentally
always use a mace in the face.
Yeah, she accidentally swings back too far and hits Sen in his face.
My favorite right now is for Alex's character when skeletons start appearing.
Oh my god, it's already happened so many times.
Yeah, I don't know why he keeps rolling that one, but anyway. Okay. Okay. Any movement? Bonus action?
No
Apology
movement.
to Sen for hitting him.
Does it actually swing back towards it? If so, Sin's gonna react.
I'd say it was a wild swing, but it was. It didn't hit you, but it was definitely a wild swing.
Okay, never mind, then it won't happen. Never mind.
No bonus actions. So that's the end of her turn.
Okay. Eris.
Okay, I'll hit the one in front of near me with my short sword.
Okay. All right. These beetles, it bounces off their hard shell. Any movement or bonus action?
No, I'll stay where I am.
Okay.
We need a hero, hero, hero.
All right. Sen. Actually, I should have had that reversed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry
Sin. Yeah, you kind of like point at one. You say, but by fire be purged! You'll shoot a firebolt.
Okay. All right.
At
Which
the
one?
one
The
directly
one
in front of
the
him.
middle? Okay. Yep. And it lights on fire and singes up.
It hit?
It
I mean, yes, of course it hits! Yes, as expected of me!
Oh
This
my
is-
gosh.
All right, Zag's up. Oh, any movement?
Yeah, he moves kind of a little bit behind Eris. End his turn.
You do realize I'm only 3 feet high, right?
The beetle's even smaller.
He ducks down a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of crouching. And he's like, patching on the shoulder. Okay. You'll get it next time, don't worry.
Thank you.
All right. I'm just imagining she's got her bear trap open on the back.
Oh, yeah, he kind of like gives that a wide berth.
Always have the bear trap open. Unwanted back pats.
All right, Zag, you're up.
Zag is gonna move over here and try to attack that last beetle.
Okay. Do you want to move like to flanking instead? Okay.
Sure.
So, just because we'll just say that because that will hit, the other one would not.
Oh.
All right. And yep. And you skewer it. You guys have a row of fire beetles.
Oh, that was quite exhilarating. Good job, everybody. Well done.
Good job, Sen.
Thank you. Did you see how I shot that one with fire?
I did. I'm surprised the fire worked that well against it.
Yes. My fire is not to be underestimated.
Did you see how I snuck up behind those other two?
I did. It was fantastic. Very well done.
Good teamwork.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Ro is bending over one of the beetles and taking notes.
Did one of the two skewered beetles get like poked in their glands?
And their 5 parts.
Yeah. If you're wondering if you can salvage something that provides a small light source, yes, you could for one of them.
I just want to dip my fingers in the glowy bits.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. She'll smear some on her cheeks. Just for fun.
Yeah. War paint, both cheeks. Got it.
Roll a
All right.
natural 20 stealth. Oh my gosh. Ro will look at Zag after taking some notes and she'll be like, "Do you want me to lift you up now, sir?"
Yes, please.
And she'll put her mace away and then she'll lift him.
You are a great elevator.
She tilts her head and then goes, "Oh, yes, I see. You're welcome."
Thank you.
All right. So, Zag, you are up on this higher ledge, and there's, as you can see, or not fully represented here, but there's essentially a collection of stalactites and stalagmites that choke this cavern, and you can squeeze through. It's just a little difficult because there's matching stalactites, essentially making it look like a maw of needle-like teeth bearing down on each other.
This is creepy.
What do you see, Zag? Any more beetles?
Not yet. Let me look around up here real quick.
Very well. I will defend you back here.
Ro does also
Thank
offer
so
to
much.
lift Eris up if she wants.
Oh. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, feast or famine, Zag.
So, yeah, she'll put Eris up there with Zag. What is up with those natural one stealths?
Yeah, he rolls natural ones on things that matter.
Oh no.
Yeah. And oh, did I do that? Oh, I did. Oh, that's good.
I don't have to ask for any rolls from Zag.
Yeah.
I just have to scroll up.
Oh, there's one.
Did you roll that? Oh yeah.
You got it.
Can I look for traps while I'm up here too, as I'm moving around?
Mm-hmm.
That's investigation, right?
Yes.
If you see a bear trap, let me know. Probably mine.
All right. I'm just gonna move through here.
Okay. It takes a little while to move through. I'll just let you know, just because everything's so tight. But you're a small gnome. It would take Ro or Sen more difficulty to get through here. As you come through, probably about the midway point beyond, you think you see a dead body at the eastern end of the room, or you can see just past the last of the stalactites and stalagmites. Coming there, it looks like a female half-orc. And she looks familiar.
ex-lover, isn't it?
Sorry, I forgot I have to press the button. I'm like sitting here talking. I'm like, oh. Do I know her?
She does look familiar. Go ahead, do a history check. Or a regular history check, but yeah, rolls. So this half-orc, you've seen her probably in some of the taverns when you do go. Even though you haven't paid too much of attention, what she tends to be is she's kind of like a brawler. She'll go and had a very friendly personality, but then fell in with some thugs, and probably ended up in an expedition that went sideways.
Does she have any tech or anything like that on her?
Go ahead. See, roll an investigation check. All right. Looking over, she does not have any tech. It looks like pretty much the only weapon she has is a old short sword. It looks like she had places along her belt for more weapons, but they were probably taken from her. Go ahead, do a medicine check. See if you can figure out what might have happened to her. Yeah. I mean, she's definitely dead. Looks like she's been stabbed.
That's weird.
And dang it, she doesn't have any tech.
And no tech.
Most disappointing.
How long has Zag been gone?
At this point, probably about 15 minutes.
Oh, I'd have dropped a rope down for them.
Okay.
Sin would stay down for now, and he would message Zag, say, "Are you still alive? Please respond if you are."
Zag says nothing.
Okay, he said nothing, so I'm assuming he's alive.
I think not sure on message you can tell if it went through or not. I'll have to look that up.
I can look it up real quick.
Bro tilts her head. He said nothing, or he said nothing?
He said the word nothing.
Ah. I see.
So I'm assuming there's nothing up there and it's completely safe to continue forward.
So you're gonna carry this Sen character over to your. You're taking my words. But like, all you hear from Zag is silence.
He's dead. We should go back to town and find the fourth member before we continue on.
Ro just kind of stares at Sen.
I thought you counted for 2 people.
Yes, we'll be short. We need at least 5.
And, you said it's pretty tight up here with the stalagmites, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can make it through. It just takes a bit of effort. I would say Eris and Zag have very little trouble.
Alright. So she just climbs up to just the ledge. And, right there. Doesn't go any further, and then she cups her hands around her mouth. And she calls out, "Zag! Are you alright, sir?"
That accounts for his stealth.
Zag mumbles to himself. She couldn't hear me even if I called back to her.
Quite a pair of lungs on her.
And then she looks at Sen and cocks an eyebrow at him like, "Did you hear anything?"
Sin stares at her. I told you he's dead. No response.
Zag starts to head back to him.
All right. So you leave Parda's, that's the name of the half-orc, body there.
If she had anything valuable on her, I would have taken it, other than maybe the short sword.
Okay. I would say the short sword doesn't look that high of quality, but you can definitely take it.
Nah, I don't want the short sword.
So you head back to the group.
Yes.
Okay. Wiggle your way through all of the stalactites and stalagmites.
Well, that's a pretty tight space up there.
Oh, you're alive. Fantastic. My magic must get distorted up there by something.
Yeah, I think it was all those stalactites and stalagmites.
I see.
Ro will hop down, and she'll offer to help the gnomes down.
There's no way forward then.
There is, it's just a tight fit.
Tight as in only you and the short one would fit?
Oh no, you would definitely fit. In fact, you would fit so well, you probably should go first.
Oh no, that's quite alright. I command best from the back.
Zag rolls his eyes. After informing the party, he heads back up there.
Sun will climb the rope up.
There wasn't any other passage, was there?
There was the water.
We'll come up here to this edge of the beach. And she'll say, the little river seems to curve around. Would you like me to inspect it, sir?
Yes. And report back any interesting findings. But be careful, don't get in any danger.
Yes, sir. And she slashes out into the water.
Splish splash.
Hey, you're standing on me.
Okay, so 1 second for Ro. Let
Okay.
me Okay, so Ro, as you come around that water, again, it's about 2 feet. You're sloshing through it. It looks like essentially this shallow creek that's running in the middle or the outskirts of this cavern, and you see that to the south there's this stony bank that rises up from the water, and there's these thick carpets of green and gray mold and fungus that are growing on the bank, particularly around a trio of 3-foot-high, foul-smelling mounds.
Ooh. Foul smelling as in like garbage or rot?
Rot, yeah, mildew.
Okay. She will continue to go forward, staying in the water, keeping an eye on this stinky stuff.
Okay. Do you stay pretty much away from the cliff? I mean, not the cliff, the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sticking to the water.
As
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. As you come around, you notice that some of the gray patches of fungus are on the walls of the cavern as you come this way, as well as closer to the bank. And none of it is piled up as high as the three um, bundles that you saw up on the bank there, but it looks like it is covering a lot of the surface area.
Okay. She's going to a small patch of it. She's going to lean a little closer and inspect it and try to determine what it is. I suppose a nature check?
Sure. Okay. So as you lean close, something slimy like a pseudopod reaches out and hits at you.
Ooh.
Um, yeah.
She'll most definitely try to jump back from that. Ooh.
19?
Yeah.
Okay. So it sloshes against your arm, kind of. At least it's not your face, against your arm, as and you can smell. It smells really putrid, and it does 6 damage.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah. Alright. She will step away from that and go back the way she came.
Okay. And you did that nature check. You suspect whatever that is susceptible to fire. Just because putting 2 and 2 for the flames you saw previously.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Be right back.
Okay.
Oh. Hi, Sen.
Yes, hello? You're still alive? That's fantastic.
Yes. There.
What is that on your arm?
She looks at her damaged arm. A minor wound. It will heal. There is gray mushroom type creatures around the bend. I think they're susceptible to fire. The river also forks. Seems it continues on, but I did not press further.
Right, but you're sure your arm's okay?
She kind of looks at it again, regards it, and she says, "It's well within reasonable parameters. It will heal."
Sid looks uncertain, but nods. I see. Well, the hero does not allow his companions to die, so you should stay in the back.
She looks a little confused, but then nods. "Very well. I will stay in the back." Of what, exactly?
Of the order. You should stay back with me and let the small ones do the things they do.
Oh, I see. If Zag wants that, I will.
Okay, so it sounds like we need to progress down the tunnel.
Okay. So she'll step up to the cliff. She'll ask Sen, would you like me to help you up?
Up there. Are we not progressing down the river?
Oh.
I'm sorry, forgive me. I was distracted with the arm. Did you not say that there was a path forward?
It appeared there was.
But you believe we should continue this way?
She kind of thinks. And then says, it seemed that the path the river followed was near where I assume this tunnel follows. They may both lead to the same place. Perhaps it would be best to confer with the gnomes and see what they would prefer.
I see. Very well. Agreed.
If we do go around the bend, you will have to take the lead, though.
I'm sorry?
As I said, the gray mushrooms, they are susceptible to fire, I believe.
Yes, of course. But as you said, we should check this way first.
I said we should confer with the gnomes.
Yes, exactly. Let's confer with them up here. Away from the water.
Oh, you look like you're hurt.
She lifts her arm, kind of shows it a little bit. It's well within functioning parameters.
Well, I'll have to look at that and see if we can do something about it. Maybe not right now, but in a little while. But you should stay towards the back. I don't want you to get hurt. You're very valuable.
Zag and I are of one mind. He is an excellent vice commander.
Vice commander.
Yes, the hero always needs a second.
Rogue kind of cocks an eyebrow and looks at Zag.
I mouth to Ro. I prefer to let the dumb ones lead. That way they're the first ones targeted.
Good luck.
A look of dawning crosses her face, and she very lightly nods.
Why are you just moving your mouth like that?
He's gone.
He's gone.
That's
Walks away.
a weird quirk.
I will be heading after him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it is easier for Zag and Eris to get through the cavern or through the stalactites and stalagmite.
Finally, a good stealth roll.
Yay.
Okay. So, Zag, as you come out of that, stepping over the corpse, where Eris, just so you know, you probably would have recognized the half-orc as well. Probably even drank a bit with Parda before she got a little, just fell in with more of the bar fight type of people than the enjoyment.
Eris will sigh and pat her chest as she passes by.
Okay. So the cavern opens up here. It is a 20-foot high ceiling, and you do see some stalactites up at the top of the ceiling. The rocky shore overlooks a very placid pool. You can see actually over here. It looks like it's fed by a trickle of cleaner water leaking in from the north. There's a small garden of toadstools and dark mold, and you also see in the water itself what looks to be a corpse.
Zag will go over towards the edge of the water. Can you ping where the corpse is?
So the corpse is here.
And does he see anything nefarious?
So this water is still murky, but it is a little bit cleaner than the other parts of the cavern. The corpse itself looks mostly eaten. It's a little difficult to identify it, but you're guessing it's not halfling sized. Most of the armor and clothing has been chewed on, but from where you are, go ahead and do a perception check. From where you are, you think you can see that he still has a belt pouch that's intact.
I'm gonna try to get my rope around him and kind of like pull him towards me without having to go in the water.
You're gonna lasso him?
Yeah. Maybe I'll tie a rock to it, throw the rock over him, and then use the weight of the rock to pull him towards me.
Do a dexterity check.
Can I see what Zag's doing?
Probably.
Okay. Zag will message him and say, aren't you worried that whatever killed him might still be around?
I'm being sneaky.
Ah, I see. Very well.
Okay. So, yeah, you tie a rock onto a rope, toss it beyond the corpse. It kind of sinks, and you're hoping you're kind of tugging at it.
I guess that wasn't very sneaky.
Not even a little.
I've got a stick.
I don't think I do. One of them 10-foot poles.
If you don't, you could always borrow one.
Well, did my rope and rock thing work?
So, yes and no. You do manage to get it to move. It's probably, probably about 5 feet of a stretch. It's out of your ability to just grab on a piece of it and pull them in.
Does anybody have a stick that is long enough?
I've got a stick.
Can we use it to pull him closer?
Sure.
I'm not stealth anymore, by the way. I've decided it's safe enough.
Well, plus throwing the rock in the water is probably not very stealthy.
Yes. So
I will watch our rear.
Yes, watch my rear.
Like one mind.
Okay, I use that stick to try to like pull him to the shore. Maybe stick it in his belt and pull it by the belt.
Okay. So yeah, you manage to get the stick into the belt loop. It snags, and you see more than something kind of like ripple in the water on the other side of the body.
Oh no, I'm stepping back and pulling out my light crossbow.
I'm gonna keep tugging on it.
All right. You cannot get it any closer.
Can I reach the blob on the other side with the stick?
Or what you think moved? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, is that what you're going to do?
I'm just gonna poke it.
Okay.
That's my favorite walking stick. Don't break it.
Oh, that's a walking stick. I thought it was just something else.
I don't think
I
there's
don't
a lot of
just carry
timber
around
in these
sticks.
caves.
All right. So something snaps at it.
Ooh.
Maybe we should leave it alone.
Does
Uh,
it
Do a nature check.
surface?
Do a nature check.
Everybody or just Zach?
Whoever's pretty much at the shore trying to pull this dead body on.
Everybody but Sin then.
All right, Ro.
Bravo.
It looked very crocodile-like, but large.
Mm,
That's the worst kind of crocodile.
I don't want it.
Ro
I'm
kind
gonna.
of blinks and says, a large crocodile, it seems, sir.
I really want that belt pouch.
Would you
Do you
like
think
me
you
to
could get it,
retrieve it?
bro? No,
She's
I'm not.
injured.
I'm not gonna do that. No.
Yeah, she offers. She does offer.
Maybe we should get that corpse and drag it over here and use it as bait.
Bait for what? The crocodile?
Yeah. And then he'll
Why? Just leave it alone.
he'll leave that one alone, and then we can get the belt pouch off of this one.
We don't really need it.
Zach, not to disagree with my second in command, but we're not here for a belt pouch.
You don't know what's in that belt pouch. There could be.
I know it's not Connor.
There could be something amazing in that belt pouch.
Can we see the guy's face who's floating in the water?
It looks like he has no top part of the body.
What?
Good. Okay.
If you guys want to convince me otherwise, you're probably gonna have to like use a persuasion roll.
Sure.
Yeah, I
Zach,
don't
that
mess
seems
with
like a pretty
crocodiles.
big warning sign that we should not be doing that. That's a really low roll.
I was gonna say like, I think you'd have to beat a 12.
Okay. Well, I'll be back here, watching, guarding our ear from beetles.
Eris looks like super nervous. She's just like, I do not mess with crocodiles. I swear to God.
And Ro just says, I have a spell that could make myself a little less likely to be hit with large teeth, sir. If you would like me to cast it on myself, I could wait out there and retrieve the body for you.
Wait, you know
No,
magic?
I would rather not risk yourself right now. You're looking a little, injured.
As long as I took no more injuries, sir, I think I will be fine.
I'm gonna open like 4 of my ration bags.
Okay.
You're gonna feed breadcrumbs to the crocodile.
I don't. I mean, you
Well,
just eat
maybe
half a person. I don't know,
they're like
just 8, but
they might be meat
It
rations.
seems to be gorging itself.
Oh, and then I'm actually before I throw them, I'm gonna cut my hand a little bit and get some blood on them.
what?
Taste feeders!
Why don't you just throw yourself in the water, Zach?
And then I'll throw them over there and see if the crocodile goes for it.
Okay. Do an animal handling.
Ro looks very confused and says, "Sir, is self-harm a normal method in your expeditions?"
Sometimes to get what you want, yes.
She nods.
Okay. So you toss the rations into the water. Any other? Are you holding an action? Are you?
Well, I'm not like right on the bank, but I'm, probably like 5 feet away now while I'm doing this part. And I guess I'm holding an action just to see what happens. And if the crocodile goes for it, I'm just going to try to scoot the body closer to shore.
What is your held action?
Um,
Regret.
you know what? I really don't want to do this, but I kind of do just to see what happens. If it goes for those, I'm going to run in and grab that pouch and then run back out.
Guys, we need to go back to town and get a 4th member.
Yeah,
Okay.
bye.
So before you do this, Zach, have you seen footage of crocodiles charging up onto the shore and grabbing things?
They're like lightning, yo.
I mean, they usually don't go for the little rationy things. They go for the big prey.
You're bite sized.
Well, I was trying to like make it feel like, oh, there's fresh prey over there.
They eat small children.
You are fresh prey.
They're the size of small human children. And they're also taste feeders, and you've just cut yourself. I don't like them.
Well,
I am rethinking my choice of second command.
you guys could talk me out of it. So.
I tried.
Have you seen my charisma?
Eris, you're promoted. Congratulations.
Rose says, "Perhaps, Zag, if you do not think it would be good for my health to go in there, I think it would be even less good for your health."
Yes, listen to Tolro.
It's not
Oh
tech.
my word.
Okay, Ro. This time, I think you're right. That thing looks like it might be big, but I think we probably could have taken it. And I guess I'll give up on the pouch.
She says, "I have no doubt, sir, that if it had attacked us, I think we could have handled it well."
Yes, I am here after all. But no point in instigating a fight when there doesn't need to be one.
Oh, Ro doesn't even know Sen runs his mouth, I don't think.
Nope. He's more talking to himself, like almost like reassuring himself.
Oh, and I want to check for traps while I'm doing this.
Okay.
And that was a good investigation roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Zag, 1 second. You find yourself at pretty much a crossroads. So to your right or to the northwest is a collection of crates, boxes, rubble, scavenged metal, heaps, and it seems to be a damp cave. There's some strange chalk drawings of twisted spiny plants on the walls, and a strange three-legged creature, which looks a little like the repair robot that you fought or contained at the foundry.
I look back and I call for Sen. I'm like, Sen, your people live down here.
My people?
And,
Yeah, the ones who draw on walls.
And there is also among the drawings. There's also what look to be emaciated, four-armed humanoid.
Wait, bodies on the floor or like drawings
No,
of them?
drawings.
Oh, okay.
I thought for sure there was a four-armed creature in there.
Well, between all of us, we have several forearms.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. Sorry, I can't stop thinking about that. I haven't heard that one before. That's a good dad joke. I'm going to use that.
This was the cave?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can Sin investigate for any sign that Connor's been here?
Yeah, you could investigate.
Low rolls tonight.
Okay, give me a moment here. Let me find.
Sorry, I was feeding the kid. I gotta put him to bed. Or back to bed.
Sounds so cute.
Yeah, he likes to make lots of noise now. Like squeals and different interesting noises.
He's trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Soon you'll find out that he can scream for fun.
Yes.
That's what he does. It's actually kind of fun right now. It's not like super loud.
Yeah.
I just realized that our avatar colors are one away from forming Voltron.
Oh my word.
Zach, you need to change your color to black. Oh yeah, he's AFK.
My siblings are so obsessed with that.
I tried to watch it. I got through like the first season and like a couple episodes, but can't really hold. I just couldn't hold my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I changing my color to black?
So we can form Voltron.
Voltron.
So that we, several large cats, can form one giant man.
Yes, exactly. And all the 80s style glory.
Yeah, and the same footage over and over.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Nothing like a 20-minute show with the same 4 minutes of transformation.
It's cheaper to make it that way.
It's like Dragon Ball Z when they're powering up.
Oh yeah.
Like 4 episodes for him to get a Kamehameha off.
Oh, it took like 9 episodes for that spirit bomb.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Here,
What's
let me
gonna Goku do for 20 minutes today? Oh, stand there with his hands to the sky? Cool. That was awesome. Glad I watched that.
They should really form a band. They've got a good pair of lungs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So looking through the essentially the junk pile, it's mostly rubble. Yeah, you do find, like I said, some metal, but just scrap.
Okay. And looking at the carvings on the wall, they don't mean anything to Sin.
No, the three-legged thing does look a lot like the repair drone that you guys saw upstairs, but you have not seen these four-armed humanoids.
Okay. Yeah, Sin shrugs and turns back to the group.
Ro would try to copy as best she could in a book the cave painting or whatever it is, chalk drawing, especially where the humanoids are concerned.
Okay. Zach, are you going down that way?
Yes.
Is anyone following?
Should
Good luck.
I go ahead and roll stealth again and all that stuff?
Yes.
Nice. Double nice.
Very nice.
Okay. So this place seems to be a very large chamber. I'm going to ask you to hold right there, please. Okay. It rises about 30 feet overhead, and there is a 5-foot ledge that runs along the wall, sloping down to the cave floor about 10 feet below. There seems to be these huts that are made of strips of metal and hide and some sort of fibrous plant matter.
How long have we been down here?
At this point in time, you've probably been down for maybe about let's see, hour and a half to 2 hours.
Alright, I head back to the party and tell them that there are like some huts in here.
Oh. Any sign of people?
Not that I saw. So far, it's just huts. I guess with my stealth, I could have snuck around in there.
Yes, with your stealth.
Sorry, that was out of character.
I'm just teasing.
I know. How do you guys think we should proceed?
If you would like to proceed forward, I can use my magic to contact you, and you can report back to us what you find.
I can do that. So I'm going to try to scout around this cavern.
Okay.
Are there any signs of like people or those four-armed things?
So as you step out, just so you guys know, from behind you, Ro, Sen, Eris, someone steps out to talk to you.
How sneaky.
This person seems very very lean. Yes, very sneaky. Let's see if we can find a picture. Nope. It's that.
Hey, gremlin.
Uh, she said very lean, sadly, not fluffy and cute and terrifying.
The best thing is that the gremlin's name is Gizmo.
Yes. Oh my goodness, we need a mascot now. You said a 4-armed humanoid, right? Or
Not that stepped out.
okay, but that are on the cave paintings.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm imagining a Slender Man just stepped out from a wall.
Right.
Didn't they just make a movie about Slender Man?
Or they're coming out with one.
I think it came out, and I think it did awful.
Yeah.
About what?
Slender Man movie.
Slender Man is a stupid urban myth from like 2010. I
Something.
can't remember how old it is now.
Something like that. Yeah, I was just doing a little bit of reading on that the other day. Was like, okay, that was weird. 5 minutes
Yeah,
of
it's
my life
dumb.
I'll never get back.
So,
Yeah, it did real bad.
I'm kind of excited for the new Predator movie, though. Ooh. Okay.
okay.
Shiny and chrome.
That's a lot of knives.
She has a 3-letter name.
She does.
Welcome to the clan.
Okay. So she steps out, and behind her, you see in the shadow 2 more people.
Ro presents her hands, open palms, facing them.
Which direction are they appearing from? Like the southwest?
So they are actually coming.
Oh, from right there.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. I am Sin Starsong, the hero, and these are my traveling companions. Who are you? He says from behind row.
Me. We'd meet, but just with 2.
Oh, okay. Meet about what?
Please meet our leader, Lupel.
Lupa?
Lupel.
Could you put that in the people channel?
Lupel?
Like the lapel of a shirt?
Yes, but not quite.
No. Okay. Well, I am the leader, I suppose. So, I shall talk to your leader as well.
And your second?
My second is back there. Zag?
Well, we know of him. Is he the second that will meet our leader?
Oh, Sin looks at Ro and her injured arm. And he looks back at Eris. Short one?
Yeah.
Would you like to talk?
I've been told I don't exactly have a sparkling personality.
No, nonsense. I'm with you. You will be great.
Eris starts walking over.
Fantastic.
Ro looks at Eris and gives her a reassuring smile and says, Zag has told me before just to smile and nod.
Wise. Zag is full of contradictions.
You don't know me.
I know you tried to get yourself eaten by a crocodile.
I would have killed that crocodile.
He would have killed it so hard.
It would grab you and then barrel roll in the water until you were unconscious.
So
Oh,
she
yeah.
says, follow me.
Yes, right?
Okay. So she leads you down pretty much the hallway that Zag has gone down, and along the ledge.
North or south.
Sorry, this way. Okay. You can see the structures, these huts that surround a very large, deep pit. I'll just point that out. This part slopes down, and then this slopes down even more steeply, and this one you lose track altogether. So she leads you actually this way. And there is a singular hut there. And then she says, no more past here. So she's telling just two can pass.
Okay. Sin turns back around and hold out a hand towards Ro and Zag. And say, we will return shortly. Please guard our rear. He gives Zag a thumbs up.
Did she even know where I was? Or she just said she did?
She said she knew.
Did you guys believe her?
Yes?
She said she didn't want anyone to pass here. Frankly, if you were standing right there, she would have noticed you. But because there's no hiding places. But she was pretty much just gesturing in general, not pointing at Zag and going, "Not you." But
As they turn to walk away, Ro says, do not worry. If you do not come back, we will find 2 or 3 to replace you. We will make sure they are worthy.
Thanks.
I mean, you could try to get us if something goes wrong if you want. Not that anything will, because I'm here, but just, you know.
Ro is right. We'll just find somebody to replace you. Have fun.
Replace me. You're replaceable. Send stars.
okay, a couple of other things. Let's see. Hold on one second. I want to see how far you guys can see.
Should I not go down here? Should I stay up here?
Yeah, stay up there just for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can't see very far. I was just checking. So she leads you down. There's a kind of like a rope ladder that hangs down this cliff. It's not that far. It's about 10 to 15 feet. Climbing down from this structure, another gray-skinned, lean man with tons of daggers all over him comes out and says, we wish to have a bargain with you.
Okay. I, since Starsong, am open to such a deal. What do you propose?
We need to return home. But we need to get rid of gremlins. If you get rid of the gremlin, we will help you get through the metal door that your kind seems to think important.
The star metal door.
Yes.
Before I agree, actually, what out of character, what does Connor look like? Is there a description of him somewhere?
Of Connor?
Yeah. I'm basically gonna ask this guy if he's seen him.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I don't. Sure, but let's make one.
You don't have to like do it on the spot if you don't want to just say that I describe him. I can say if if they seen him or not.
I should have a picture. Maybe not. Oh, I'm lying. Okay. Okay, so he's actually a little bit of a balding man. And so I'm gonna be stuck while I get it. Older, for sure. Oops. Graying at the temples. Hair's on the longer side, which is very fashionable for Torch. And
Oh, okay.
Okay.
looks nothing like you.
No relation.
No relation.
Okay. Then yeah. Sen will give a brief description of him and ask if they've seen him in recent days.
No, not since he passed the metal wall.
He passed the metal wall,
Yeah,
and the torch up above the purple flame is the source of that past the door as well.
we know nothing of above.
It must be if Master went through there.
Was anyone
Very well.
with him when he passed the door?
Excellent question, Eris.
Yes, there were a few.
Could you possibly describe them?
You all look alike to us, except short or tall.
How many were with him?
2.
To Sin's knowledge, Connor didn't go down with anybody, did he?
He did. He had an expedition.
Oh, he had a whole expedition with him. Okay.
Yeah. I would say you don't know how many he had.
Would I know how many he was supposed to have?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
We want an alliance. We will give you free passage through our caves. But you do not touch us. And you get rid of the annoying gremlin to the north.
And you will also help us pass the star metal door.
Yes. We have been in a little bit.
Very well. Agreed. Where can we find these gremlins precisely?
They are in these caves to the north. If you do this and get rid of them for us, we will tell you about others other than the person you seek who have been brutal.
I've made it past the star door.
Some have, some have not.
Before or after the men I described?
Some before. Some did not go through the door, but went up through the gremlin caves, but did not return.
I see. We'll return shortly. Yeah, okay. So, go back. As we're going back, to say, see, well done. Excellent questions. I knew I was right to choose you. I have an excellent instinct for these things, you see.
Oh my goodness.
Zag is hiding off to the side, being stealthy.
Right. So...
And when Sen comes around the corner, he jumps out and he goes, "Boo!"
Oh, hello, Zach. You are very frightening. Yes. Boo, indeed. Anyways, it appears there are gremlins to the north that need to be handled. And in doing so, the people here will give us information and help us pass the quote-unquote impassable star door. Star metal door, the door.
You should let me look at that door first.
If we pass it, I will not object. I believe he said it was to the north, but I'm looking right. Do we see a path to the north? Because this is how steep is this incline right here?
You mean the one right in front of you?
Yes.
The one right in front of you goes down for about 10 feet, but, let's see. Yeah, about 10 feet, and then it further slides downward.
You changed it to pull out.
Oh,
It's actually just. I was like, what was that weird thing moving? And I realized it was his.
Just for you.
Thank you. Okay, then I believe we shall proceed that way. Onward, companions.
okay. So, I was going to say, this might be a good stopping point.
Actually, I think we should make camp. Change of plans.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I don't...
Just joking.
I'm just thinking, I don't think there's a good way for that. About this time, just so you know, it's probably been about almost 3 hours since you first got the spell placed on you.
See, this is what happened to the other teams who came down here. They're like, oh, let's just keep going.
Oh. And we still have 3 hours. Plenty of time. You have the hero on your side after all.
That hero is going to get it.
Okay. So, Zag, where you are, you can see that there is a passage north. You can also see that out of the huts down, close to you, one of them looks like it's been unused for a while. Like weeks. All right. Any
Okay.
questions?
Nope, that's great.
This is
Alright.
great.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Definitely
Okay.
like it.
I was going to say, there hasn't been that much technology yet.
No. I
Magic
keep
is the way to
waiting
go.
for it.
Yeah.
Quiet Sen.
Just wait till I have the money and some time to make a lighter.
I can do that already, kind of thing. You should be able to do that if you're a stone.
Yeah, I just need time.
Oh, I figured that I already had the materials for it, so I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm broke, so gotta save that money.
Okay. All right, so you guys are planning when we reconvene in a couple weeks to start going after gremlins.
Yes.
Ro is very excited.
Yeah, I thought for sure gremlins was like not a thing. And then
It's
Cindy
about
told me
some
that
water.
Cindy told me that Zag thought that it wasn't a thing too, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
because Zag did think it wasn't a thing.
Yeah. So now I'm like, now I have to tell Ro, oh, I guess I was wrong. Ugh.
You could tell her it's named something else.
Oh, there you go.
These are gremlins with an O. Completely different.
Yeah, completely different from gremlins. These are grem outs.
Grimouts.
God. Okay. You are practicing the dad jokes. Okay. All right.
It's a powerful skill.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Oh,
Good night, all.
thank
It's
you.
really
Good
fun.
night.
Yeah.